Yeah, episode 102, MikiDZ podcast. We are back, fellas. How was Thanksgiving?
Oh man, Thanksgiving was lovely.
Was it bountiful?
Man. Come on, man. You know my favoriteest holiday out of them all, man.
Yeah, just for the food.
Just for the
and
food. No. Don't believe it or not. Yeah, for the food. One, but I enjoy it because we get to spend time with your family, even if it's family that you see on your regular basis. It's just different when it's everybody. You know what I mean?
Are you in sweats or pants?
Sweats.
You dress up?
It's highly
sweats,
suggested that you just wear sweats.
Yeah,
we get comfortable. Bring your sweats, bring your slides. You know what I mean? We eat and we chill. We eat and we chill. And that's what it is.
See, I go to my in-laws, so I'm not sure if I'm sending the right message if I'm wearing sweats.
Yo, I don't. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand.
even put on like a nice sweater.
I don't understand. I don't understand the whole get dressed up to go sit down at the table and eat. Like I don't understand that. It's so uncomfortable for me. Like I'm not trying to put on a fucking.
But also, you got to consider that at least I would consider that everyone else that's showing up has something nice on. You know what I mean? So
you're saying if people are coming to your house?
No, if I'm going to someone else's house, because I told you I went to my in-laws and I went to my parents, and both have, people were dressed up. They just looked nice, But if I roll up in there in sweats, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if I'm sending the right message.
Listen, all I'm saying is it's one thing if you're going to someone else, like you said, your in-laws or a friend or something like that. That makes a little bit of sense. If they're coming to your family, listen, I'm showing up in sweats. They come to Kathy's crib. I'm showing up in sweats. I'm sorry, mom.
If I was still living in my parents, I'm sure. No, I'm rolling out of bed.
I'm not even. I'm saying even if you're going to your mom's crib, it's still your family, your mom, your immediate family. I'm showing up in sweats.
But what if I say, but they're fear of God.
Fear of God. Right?
they're essential sweats. Come on, they cost more than your pants.
Exactly. Like, how was yours?
That guy.
How was your Thanksgiving?
Pull up with the athleisure. It was good. First Thanksgiving with the baby in the family, so.
Oh yeah,
the babies,
right. AJ.
Not the baby, but
baby,
Andy Jr.
The baby.
So that was cool because actually, beyond that, it was really the first Thanksgiving that I didn't have to do like Black Friday at midnight. That happened last year as well, but I still had to be somewhere early that night to prepare for the next day. So really, it was just a cool time to actually sit down, have dinner, and Andy and Melissa, who just had their first baby, my first nephew, brought out the whole family, like both sides and a neighbor. Like, what is going on?
My baby will do that.
That's what I noticed about, like, if you have a bunch of adults at a holiday function, like, it's cool. You show because you kind of have to.
Yep.
But when you start bringing kids, when kids get involved, like it's the opportunity to see the baby. It's and then when they get older and they're 5 and 6 years old, it's just more fun because like Christmas, it's really for the kids, not so much for the adults.
Yep.
But kids really make the holiday functions better.
I had to watch my nephews play video games for 4 hours instead of watching.
They took
sports.
the big TV?
Yo, they took the big TV.
You have your phone off to the side?
I'm like, man.
You should have came prepared with your laptop.
But what I'm saying is, I was like, all right, we're going to let them play. Because I was like, let's get it out of the way now. Let them play for like an hour or two. And then we can watch sports. Man, these motherfuckers would not get off the goddamn TV. And I ain't going to be that guy to be like, hey, yo, can we cut this shit off?
Cowboys are playing.
They
about to lose.
Can we watch them lose? You know what I'm saying? My uncle was in town. He hates the Cowboys just as much as me. And I was like, man,
and look at you guys propped up with a little cell phone.
I was like, fuck it, let the boys play, fuck it, So I was like, fuck it, we just gonna play Mario Kart. Hey, y'all gonna play video games? Everybody gotta play.
Yep.
So we got it on.
We all gonna get involved.
That's like that meme where the dad is like, got this 89-inch TV to watch Paw Patrol.
Yeah, exactly.
and then he's got his cell phone propped up on the table like he is watching the game.
Man.
Sacrifices,
Yeah, that's what it is, man.
Yeah, man. But we because we missed last week's recording, we have a few weekends under our belts to go over and share with you guys. I'll start off by sharing my weekend out in my few weekends, but starting off with AC. So Rell and I hop on an early flight to AC, and just as soon as we take off, we have to land in Texas.
Listen, I'm glad you brought that up. What is it about whenever we travel together, some shit always goes down?
I don't know.
I'm so glad I missed this.
Energy. Yeah, I mean, well, so we have to land because someone doesn't feel well, and she was so bad. We land in somewhere in Texas. What was it? Amarillo, Texas. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And she was so bad that they had to walk her off. Someone behind her and someone in front of her walking backwards, and she had to put her hands on the dude's shoulder to walk off. And I'm thinking it's not going to be as easy as kicking her off the plane and then, all right, we're out. Sure enough, it wasn't that easy. They said, all right, we're going to get things going here in about 10, 15 minutes. And then it's like, everyone's got to get off the plane because now they need to do a safety check and check everything. So Rell and I,
and everything.
Yeah, so we get off and we have a burger. Burger wasn't bad, random spot.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And then we hop back. And then, so I see a girl in the back of the plane. I'm thinking, she looks like she can be an industry girl. Well, whatever, keep it moving. So we land, like as soon as we land, we have like a few minutes to get ready and go meet with Jason and Zach downstairs. And this is my HQ set, my first time doing it. And that's at the Oceans Resort in Atlantic City. So we go down, we go do a sound check, and a sound tech comes up to us and says, yeah, I heard you guys had a rough flight coming in. And I was like, yeah, I started talking about it. I was like, oh no, I know the one of our bottle girls was on the flight with you. And they're like, that's who.
Yeah, like, me and Joe looked at each other, we was like, we know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, we know exactly.
She stood out like a sore thumb, just cocktail go written all, just bottle go written all over.
Be careful.
I'm just saying. Certain people stand out. Right? Nothing wrong with it by any means. So we talked to her, and
she broke the whole thing down to us.
Yeah, she said. So basically, that woman overdosed on like some drugs. I forgot what. I don't even know if they're illegal.
I forgot what she said they were.
I don't know if it was pain. It might have been some or just some shit.
But
she
took them right before she boarded the flight.
Yeah, and she didn't want to tell them that she took them because maybe they were illegal or so. So they were trying to figure out what was wrong with her, and they just chalked it up as she was dizzy or something.
It sound like edibles. You get paranoid.
But
trust me, I'm taking edibles. Trip. I'm taking edibles. I had a bad trip on a 15-hour flight. I ain't stopping the flight.
Well, no, you're not.
Yeah, but
imagine your first time eating something, and then you're like,
I mean, if it's our first time, first of all, that's our first
move my
mistake.
Legs.
Yeah, if it was our first time, but yeah, I mean, I didn't see any of this what Joe was explaining because I was in a coma. And I didn't wake up.
Knocked out too.
I didn't wake up until the wheels hit the ground in Texas. And I woke up and I said, there's no fucking way we're here already. Yeah. Like, because it was so quick.
I did not sleep that long.
Yeah, I was like, I did not sleep that long. And I woke up and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? So I turned my phone on and I'm like, you know how you can tell, you go to the weather and they'll tell you where you're at. And I was like, damn, what the fuck are we doing in here? Like, why do we stop? And then I hear them talking about, we have to get somebody off. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me right now. You had to make an emergency stop.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
Yeah. So that was a whole scoop of that. And, thankfully because once you land in Philly, it's like an hour and a half or 2 hours, depending on traffic, drive to AC. But definitely got there enough time to eat good, not really rush around. But I want to get into my set because, and DJs, I need you to empathize with me. I think we've all been through this. So once again, we talked about this night before, New Thursday night at HQ, and it's more like hip hop top 40 driven because Fridays and Saturdays are typically house. So they're still building the night out.
Little throwbacks, right?
No, that's the thing. They have to promote it as throwbacks to make the casino happy because the casino just doesn't want to say it's hip hop night because they're afraid of attracting the wrong crowd. And in AC, where all those casinos are located, just on the back end of that is rough.
It's a rough neighborhood.
Yeah. So you can't. So they had to meet. Zach had to meet them halfway and said, "All right, let's call it a throwback night, sicker than your average." It's a classic line.
Sure.
So yeah. Shit, Vice went in there and just did it like an all house set because he's like, no, we don't do that anymore. So this is what we're doing now. But I was the fourth DJ they had. So it was like Spider, Vice, and then they had Montone, local guy. Shout out to him. Mm-hmm. And I heard he did very well. He knows his local crowd. And then it was me. So I know they're still billing out the night. And this is, again, in the wintertime. So I think all the tables on the floor were sold and a handful of people on the floor, like general admission. And it would look like mostly dudes. And so I'm trying to get like I'm trying whatever. Jason's killing. He's doing a great job opening, and every time he plays a song, I'm super paying attention because I'm trying to grab onto what they react to. Like I just need a hint. I need something that says go that route opening up. So it's funny because 10 minutes before I played, it's like when you like there's speakers in the way of people when you stand on one side of the booth. And same thing on the other. So I'm pacing back and forth to see what they're reacting to. And Jason's like, yo, my man, if you want to get on, just let me know. Yeah. He's like, this guy's like a fucking tiger behind me. I'm like, no, I would never be that guy. Like, you know, the antsy headliner, like, cause the opener's killing it. And the antsy headliner's like, oh man, I got to get on. Like, I would never be that dude. I just was trying to find some form of like crazy, some form of life that make me say, okay, I'm going to start with this and roll with it. But it was hard to get a grab of it because, and I told Rell this before going into my set, every time I spin in AC, a lot of people dancing, standing on the dance floor drinking. Sometimes they dance, mostly standing on the dance floor and drinking. Sure enough, that was the case going into HQ. So again, I'm trying to figure out what to open up with. I'm either going to give them some classic hip hop like, what was the song? Roscoe Dash. What did I open up with?
All the way turned up.
All the way turns up. But it was either that or the ASAP for a Ride with the Mob. Yeah, it was gonna be between one of those two. So I went with. So I couldn't get a read. I couldn't get a feel. I knew hip hop would work, but just to kick it off with. So I said, fuck it, open with Roscoe Dash, and I thought it went okay. I thought it was all right. But you know, built up the BPMs. And eventually got to, you know, more up-tempo hip-hop or, you know, up to the 100 BPMs and whatever. But I felt like I played everything that night, and I even played some house because I'm definitely trying to get in on their Saturdays where it's a house. So ideally, it'd be dope to do Thursday on the hip-hop night, Saturday on the house night. But yeah, so fast forward, set's done. Oh no. So in the middle, you know, in my 2 hours, like, and also I go on at 1 a.m. It's not like it's 12 to 2. It's 1 to 3. So people to some degree already like in some people's heads, they're kind of in the middle of their night around 1, especially if it's not like a packed night. You might call it early because it's not super popping. So we get to 3. And it was just one of those feelings where it's like, man, every time I thought I had them, they got away. You know, every time I thought I had the people reacting, they just stopped dancing and just went back to standing and drinking and talking. So I just felt like no matter what I hit them with, I just couldn't grab them. But in the big picture, that was okay. So I talked to Zach about it because he does the book. Because I'm like, look, man, I know this set wasn't the greatest, but just tell me it was good enough to get me to the next book. And that's all I care about. Like, I understand it's not a packed night, but I really wanted to like come in here and bust their muffin tops with just, you know, a fire set that will have them say, man, he killed it with X amount of people, with only X amount of people there. Like, that's just my mentality going into every set, whether it's packed or not. So because I didn't feel that, I was concerned. So Zach was like, no, it was fine. Maybe he didn't use those words, but he said it was fine. But the thing is, like, the bar sales were good because they have 2 bars up top and people stayed at the bar. Like, if they left the dance floor and I started to get concerned, they were just going to the bar and then they made their way back. So that's always a good sign. You want them to spend money while you're DJing because it makes you look good. And he said they either went to the bar and came back, or they stayed at the bar and drank. And on top of that, all the comps bought bottles on top of their comps. So numbers wise, it's good. And I was like, all right, well, I said, let me know tomorrow what the consensus is between, you know, within the staff, because that, you know, when the staff vouches, it's a really good look. So we got to that point. He's like, nah, staff loved you. You did fine. So cool. So it's like, after the fact, I definitely overthought it because I wanted it to go a certain way. And because I feel like when I, you know, handle a club, that's just the way it goes, or it's something close to that. So I think a lot of DJs can relate to that feeling. And then at the end of the night, I played I think my last song was a Joel Santana song, And Rell, I play the most Dipset when I'm around Rell. That's another thing. I don't know if I play a lot of Dipset when you're not around, but when you're around, I just so happen to be playing Dipset. So this drunk guy comes up to me. I don't know how we got up there. And he says, yo, man, I'm with this clothing line, whatever. He's like, yo, can you play some Jewels? And I was just like, man, last song. He's like, come on, man, I'll pay you how much you want. I was like, well, how much you got? And he's like, I'll give you all this right here. And there was a bunch of 20s and ones. I was like, man, I got you.
How much did it end up being?
It came out, I want to say it was like $191. Something like, he just, whatever he had in his pocket, he threw down. And
just to play some Dipset.
Just to play, a Dipset song. So
I ain't mad at it.
No, yeah, fuck it. He's either gonna book me or not book me at that point.
Yeah,
Like the last song ain't gonna put me over.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that was a great experience. Shout out to those guys. I hear the weeks keep getting better and better. I think Angie V did really well, and they got Jason headlining this week, so dope for them. And moving on, I did Aria Vista, and another thing I wanted to share with our listeners. Have you ever been so comfortable in your set or with the club because you've done it a number of times and you're just like, I want to try new things. Again, we know what'll work, and maybe this is later on in the night just to be a little safer. And I want to try new things. And then you realize when you're trying new things, you're not as organized as you can be. Like, so if I play When I Hear Music by Debbie Deb, it's a Latin crowd. Of course, that's going to go off. And the next song that might connect with that is Living on a Video. You remember the artist name?
Yeah,
it's Free X.
Trans X.
Yeah, good call. You get that. So it's like, so you want to follow up with something in that vein, and then it's like, all right, where do we go after that? So what I learned about myself in that moment, I'm completely fine with being vulnerable about this. Is like my random sets, my kind of showing my range sets could be a little better, but I'm not stressing it because like the bulk of the night was done. I gave them what they know and what they want, and I gave them Bad Bunny a number of times. I gave them all that shit. So moving forward, I was like, all right, well, we need to practice and get these sets, tighten these sets up, because anytime you get a chance to flex like that, that can really separate yourself from other DJs or just make the night even better. Shout out to Aria Vista and Riverside. We had a good time. It was more packed than it was last time, and they were singing the damn near everything I played. And yeah, it was a good night.
It was a good crowd. Yeah.
Rell, what you got?
Where we at? Just a couple of weekends. I was in New York. I did Atlantic City with you. Flew to Charleston with the wife to do a wedding. Then the following weekend, I was in New York. Man, New York was dope. It was a good time. What was I saying?
Yo, you were playing Bieber, like old classic Bieber. And that shit rang off.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, man. Listen, everybody was just like, oh, okay, I get it now. I get it now. You know what I mean? Like just about the videos, and they were like, I get it now, because most people just assume, and it's fair, that I just spin hip hop or whatever. So when I post these videos, I don't know why. Because these people are ignorant. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't judge somebody. You don't judge a book by its cover, you stupid. So yeah, I'm doing this. I'm doing 2 spots. I did Friday night, this Saturday night, both in the East Village, downtown, Lower East Side. The first night, I keep forgetting the name of the spot, but the spot was pretty big. They designed it to look like the inside of a cave. And they had, you know what I mean? Like, they have DJs in there, and they have really like, it's a Mexican restaurant. The owners are from Europe, so the European guys, they were mad cool. They come off, how Europeans that live in New York really like look like really aggressive, like tough guys, and they're like, nah, like these dudes are sweethearts. Yeah. So I went in there. They was extremely cool. Like staff was like A1 as far as hospitality with everything with wifey and I. But they had a strict like no Latin music. They do not like Latin music. I was like, you're a Mexican restaurant. Yeah. but whatever. You know what I mean? It's cool with me. Latin music, I ain't the biggest fan of, the reggaeton. So I was like, cool, it works for me. I was like, fuck it. So that was the only gig that I was like, I was kind of nervous walking into it, and I was like, man, we're gonna see. But they're big fans of like the old 2010s like house music EDM scene, like the Avicii's and the Showtek,
the golden era,
of EDM.
I was
like,
just call it that.
I said perfect. I said, man, that's nothing. So I was like, cool. So he's like, whenever you go in the peak times, go up there and play some of that stuff for the owners. So I was like, cool. I was like, boom. I thought I was gonna not have enough music for my whole set. So I was just like, damn,
how long was your set?
Fucking 4 hours.
No,
5 hours, excuse me.
Yeah.
Till 4 a.m. From 11 till 4 a.m. So I was like, fuck. But then I was like, it's the same thing from doing a 9 to 2 a.m. in LA. Yeah. So I was like, I do that plenty of times.
Right.
Went out there and I was just like, had a fucking grand time. Equipment had a little faulty equipment, but it was, we got through the night. It was great. They loved me. Staff loved me. They were like, yo, we ain't seen the crowd sing along this much in a while. Like, what I mean? This was dope. So I was like, all right, cool. So the second night, I was told that I have a little bit more range and leeway with the format. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you can get into the new Latin shit. You can get into, the current hip hop shit. So I said, bet. And I had a lot of people the night before coming over to me and requesting a lot of like Latin and hip hop shit, right? So I was like, yo, restrictions, can't play that shit, whatever. Just trying to explain. Wifey and I were trying to explain to the people that were coming over to me. And everybody was that was the best experience that I've had when it comes to taking requests in a long time.
Wait, could you have played Drake's MIA with Bad Bunny?
In the first spot?
Yeah, is that like the loophole to playing Latin if you
I didn't even try it. To be honest with you,
like the crossover songs,
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even try it because it was my first time spinning at this spot. So I was just like, nah, I'm not even going to test the waters with it because it was when I got the what you call it? It was in bold letters, like in your face, like the owner's request, no Latin music.
Don't go over the red line and don't play.
They didn't
Latin.
give a fuck about that. They were just like, just don't play this shit. So I was like, all right, whatever. So again, I was telling everybody, wifey and I were telling everybody, listen, I'm spinning at the spot. It's literally around the corner tomorrow night. You want to hear this? Please come up, pull up on me tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So the next night, I get to the spot, and it's more of a lounge. It's more of a smaller venue, and it was more of a peak, right? So you start off playing some cool shit, as opposed to the night before. I had to start off hot because the spot was packed as soon as I walked in. But this spot was only a handful of people. I said, cool. At least the first hour or so, I can just get into it, right? So sure enough, did it, whatever. And I'm getting into it. I gave him about 2 hours of just all up-tempo shit. And I was like, all right, I'm about to get into take him down to the hip-hop bag. Got him going. It's packed in here. It's getting hot. So I get into the hip-hop bag. And I mean, like, the response was insane. Like, the fucking walls were shaking when they heard the first. And I think it was like, no hands. I dropped like no hands. And I dropped it from the top. Listen to this track. They go, oh shit. Yeah. Right. And they just go crazy, right? So I'm doing it. I only gave them 4 hip-hop tracks, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get out of it. Fucking laptop overheats. It's cooking in this fucking thing, right? Shit. It's cooking in this spot. Fucking laptop overheats. But it hasn't cut off yet. You know how like it starts like blinking or whatever. And I'm like, fuck. But luckily, obviously, I have my USB thing. And there was a USB drive already in there. And it had a couple of mixes on there. So I'm like scrolling. And I saw a hip hop mix. So I was like, fuck it. I'm already in hip hop. I'm going to play it, right? So I played the hip hop mix, restart my laptop. As I'm restarting the laptop, one of the bar managers or something like that comes over and he was like, yo, can we not play too much hip hop? Keep in mind, it was only one song played. By the time this song was over, I was already had my laptop over and got out of it. Yeah. So I was explaining to him, I was like, yo, my apologies. Like it wasn't, what you call it? I explained the laptop thing. He was like, damn, do you need like any type of ice or anything?
He's like, damn, you need any house music?
Right? Like, he's like, all right. So, he assisted. He went to go get me like a garbage bag and he was like, yo, the ice machine is over here. You still need it? I was like, no, I think we're good. So I got out of it. And it was just to your point that you were saying, it was hard to read what the managers and bar staff wanted or what they liked because I was told one thing, but what they were talking to me about was, or what they were suggesting was a completely different thing, kind of similar to the night what I was doing before, but I was getting an insane amount of requests for the shit that they didn't want to hear. And when I say the staff, right? So I was like, yo, what the? So I was in that in between, and I was just like, fuck. And I had chicks coming over to me and wifey the night before. Listen, we was at the spot last night, and you said that you can play X, Y, and Z, and I was like, yo, you calling me out, so I'm gonna play the shit. So I was just like, yo, I gotta play it. My set was supposed to be over at 3:30. They let me rock till 4 a.m. Right? So I was like, all right, the crowd was jumping. I feel like I had the crowd majority of the night or whatever. So at the end of the night, it was kind of like one guy was just like, all right, thanks for having him. Just real, like, couldn't get a read on him or nothing like that. The other dude was like, yo, thanks for having us. Thanks for putting up with, my request or whatever. And he was asking me for like Mamma Mia and all that shit and whatever. And I was like, all right. I was like, all right, cool. So I had hit, my boy that, shout out to C-Flow, who had hired me. And I said, yo, did you get any feedback from, the 2 spots that I did, a couple of days later? And same thing. He was like, first spot, fucking loved you, bro. Thank you so much. They said you smashed it. And he said, I haven't heard anything from the second spot. He said, but that's a great thing because they really voice their opinion when they don't like a DJ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I said, all right, cool. I was like, I guess that's yeah. I was like, I can roll with that. And I was like, yeah. It was. I said I couldn't get a good read on them, but they let me go till 4 a.m. And I know my set I was originally supposed to end at 3:30. He said, no. Then if you went to 4, then they liked you. And I was like, all right, cool. Then I'm not gonna take no offense to it. So. So New York ended up being great. We had a good set. I'm sure I'll be back in the next month or 2 or whatever. Nice. At some couple of different spots out there. And then I did Resident last weekend, which was dope. It was slow because it was Black Friday. So I don't know if you ever spun on a Black Friday anywhere. It's either really, really packed or slow.
Yeah, my set at Ari Vista was Black Friday, but I heard generally around the country, like, slow, like some venues saw it coming and just closed down.
Yeah. And that's what the bar manager there, mad cool. Shout out to Todd. He said it. He was just like, "Yo, we might shut it down early tonight." I said, "That's cool with me. I get paid the same. I don't give a fuck." Like, you know what I mean? So I said, he was like, "All right, cool," but it didn't. It wasn't. Let me say this. It wasn't slammed like it normally is and what I normally get, but it was a good amount for them to stay open. And he was just like, he came over to me. He was like, "Bro, we love you because you're one of the only DJs that would have this range and this group of people and make them stay here."
Yeah.
And these people stayed because they could have went anywhere.
Not to sound like a tourist, but did you play Dipset at any of those nights?
In New York?
Yeah, because I feel like that's just like what the tourist DJ, we got to play Dipset?
Nah, I didn't actually because it just wasn't.
It didn't flow right?
It didn't flow right.
Seem like those kind of venues.
And it didn't seem like those kind of venues.
You don't have the Bieber remix?
Stop. Yeah, like like I said, like some of the deepest cuts that I played, like I played a Young Dolph track just because, he had passing or whatever. And it was flatline, bro. Like no response. Yeah. I played Blow the Whistle out there just to see if it would work. Right? Blow the Whistle, I feel like it's a heavy West Coast track.
The
but I was like,
remix or the original?
The original, right? That was just like, I feel like it's still, a universal track that you can get away with it outside of LA, right? I felt like, I don't know if you ever played it outside of LA. Right?
I don't touch it outside. When I go to East Coast
thing.
Yeah, I played it flat line. I was like,
I think we talked about this with Sprite, which we should have on the next one to recap the year, next pod. But I think we talked about this almost a year ago with him, and he was saying that it was one of those to use. I'm like, I don't know, man. The ones like when I have tried it, it doesn't even like it's not even a great filler, let alone
like anything east of Texas.
But that's what I'm saying. I've seen it work. I've seen it worked in like Nashville. I've seen it work in. I guess that's still.
But the Sweetie version,
the Midwest or whatever. But so I was like, fuck it. I mean, I didn't have high expectations for it, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna throw it out there, see if they receive it. If they don't, they don't. Nothing. Boom. Young Dolph, nothing. So when I played the Young Dolph track, I knew for a fact I can't stay deep in this.
Which
lane.
Young Dolph track?
Preach, like you know what I mean. Like the one where I would assume everyone knows either that or Get Paid. You know what I mean. So when I played it, I was like, I can't stay deep in this lane or whatever. So I got out of it, went back up. It was all the classic shit. And it was a young ass fucking crowd, like young, like 21, 22-year-olds. But all the early 2000 shit went crazy. Which I was like, y'all niggas is too young to know this shit.
Yeah.
It's for the most part, but fuck it. They went off, but
worked out.
we had a good time.
There you go.
Mike was in San Diego, though.
I was. Went this past weekend. Shout out to Kevin McLaughlin, his whole team over down there. I went to go do El Chingon, per usual. Always a good time, you know. Just like I hadn't spun in since that whole Halloween night, and I was really contemplating on not going, probably for like 3 to 4 days leading up to it, because I had a foot injury playing basketball, and so I tore some connective tissue in my foot, and just, you know, like took it day by day. You know, like first day was like, damn, am I gonna need surgery? Second day, it was like, all right, let me like treat it myself. Third day, got actual real treatment. And then started being able to like walk on a cane. And then like I was on a cane for like 3 days. And then when it came to like the day of, I was like, you know what? Like I'll be fine. Not really thinking about what it would be like to stand for 4 hours to DJ. Not with a foot injury, but then with a foot injury, bruh, I was like, dog, I'm like, this is fucking hurts.
At what point was it? Was like 2 hours into your set that you were like, nah, this shit ain't, this for the birds?
I'm gonna say like first hour, I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad. And then after that, it was kind of like
the liquor was flowing. 42 was hitting.
Like third hour. Third hour.
I'm good now.
He's just putting the liquor on his ankle.
Start to warm up some, you know. But, you know, it's crazy because, like, I did, like, this 4 to 8 set, and, you know, it's Sunday Fun Day. So that's been, I wouldn't say, like, hit or miss, but basically, as a DJ there, you're kind of playing different roles, right? Like, if you're there and it's, like, it's jumping early, like, all right, cool. Like, we go and party early. Yeah. And if it's not there, then we're not going to take it there. Like, we don't need to take it there. And so
they got DJs all day on Sunday.
Yeah, huh? And it's funny because like I've been rocking with Chingon and that whole group for a long time. Again, like big ups to the group out there. But you know, like I've been there to see enough staff change over the years. Yeah. And I didn't know anybody this time around. I think I might have recognized the whoever the GM was at the night, but I didn't recognize anybody else. And then the vibe was just like, for me, it was like, all right, we're just having lunch. Like, cool energy, have people sing along. Yeah. There was that, you know, if I see one person like moving around or a girl that starts dancing at the bar, I'm doing my job. Yeah. And then it was funny because there was this moment where like, all right, cool, like a bunch of girls, like they don't know each other, start dancing with each other, start doing a dancing line. I'm like, okay, cool, some energy. And I forgot what twerk type record I was playing, and it was just like responsive, and then this bartender runs up the stairs and he's like, yo, like you gotta keep it here. And I'm like, fam, like, we gotta keep it nowhere. Like no one let them vibe. Like, you know, it's like, no, like keep the energy here and roll with it. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna play a record that I wasn't gonna play because that's not my role. If I play like, I think it was Up, right? Because I'm thinking that's Cardi B. That's probably a strong record to keep it in that realm. Got you. And if it's too strong, they will decide and they will sit down. Yeah. Right? Or it will stay there and we can go there. I'm fine with that. Played it.
Day drinking in San Diego? Oh, it's going off.
16 bars, taking a break.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah. They were like, okay, yeah, got their little like TikTok, you know, and then surely enough, 10 seconds, you know, just, all right, well, we're good. Yeah. You know? Thanks. Thank you for that, you know? Like,
motherfuckers.
Oh, shit.
So then I was like, all right, cool. Like, we ain't got to go there. Yeah. Like, and, but yeah, it was cool. I mean, I think I'm more, I maybe surprised isn't the word, but like, I was happy to know that I could go 4 hours without like, at any point feeling stressed about what record to play and keep a vibe and, you know, play new shit, old shit, a little bit of everything. That's the one thing I do like about that venue. So it was cool, you know. And then done by 8. Shout to DJ Impact. I hadn't seen him in so long.
Nice.
My chubby buddy, as we call each other from back in the days. OG San Diego, OG Santa Barbara, Click, and he jumped on, and it was like, you know, I walked so he could run. Really, like it was just like cracking.
Yeah.
You know, the first press of fog in the club, and it was like, it was lit.
Yeah.
And I was like, by 8:39, I was like, oh, this is cracking now.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was a good time, and you know, just had a day after all the Black Friday fiasco that we had at the Mag Park.
How'd that go for you?
Which went very well. We prepared a lot better this year than we did last year. For the case of last year, we had like a COVID infested staff that couldn't come to work. So that was a rough one for us, where like literally not a single manager was available to work.
Damn.
And we found out the day of Thanksgiving.
Jeez.
So we kind of literally had everybody call their homies and be like, we're hiring you for the day. People don't know that. People don't know that in the business. Like, you know, you never really show your pain. You just keep going.
I didn't
get a call.
I don't want to bug you guys. Plus,
I came in a Mag Park employee for the
fam,
day.
That would have been fun.
You know who was Nico. Nico ran the door.
Oh yeah,
for us.
that's right. You did.
He just
I
had to
remember
stand
Nico,
there.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, she asked if we got a Chicago 1. I said, what size? Oh, I should ask that.
I'm like, yo, Nico, get your shit together.
Yeah, but luckily this year we were well prepared. COVID's a little behind us now. Hopefully nothing else in front of us. And it was really successful. We had both stores full force. Online was amazing. And then I kind of like had this crazy idea to drop a mystery hat like a couple days before, which was like probably the coolest experience I've had in a long time. Essentially, you know, for the listeners or whoever, you know, if you know or you don't know, I've been designing some caps for New Era and the store. And so for the first time ever, I decided, I have this design that I feel very confident about. And I'm like, I don't think we'll be able to service everyone that wants one. At least that's how it feels. And I was like, you know what? Went on my IG story and I was just like, yo, would you guys trust me if I have mystery hat? Like, you don't get to see it until it sells out. And so I'll do 200 units. You'll get a special package, whatever. And we put it up and it sold out in 43 seconds.
Damn.
And I was like, and what was crazy about that was it sold out in 43 seconds, which is a huge testament. But then there was still 1,000 people on the website that
we're trying to get
were there and it was gone. So like, it's really opening my eyes to like what the possibilities are. Yeah, exactly. And so, you know, I would do more, but the reality is like I've done pre-orders once and that's a headache. And number 2, New Era is not really in the position right now to be able to fulfill everything in a timely manner, at least at that capacity. Yeah. But like 200, doable. I talked to my sales rep. And he's like, oh yeah, we can handle that amount and then we'll figure out the rest later. Cause I knew that this hat would be a 1,000 to 3,000 unit type of hat. And so I revealed it on IG Live as soon as it sold out. And it's you know, based on our youth, I guess, you know, hanging out at the local burger spot, double burger.
Roscoe Boulevard.
You know what I mean? Roscoe Boulevard's finest.
Yeah.
So did something along there, come with the paper bag, custom pin, that whole situation.
Nice.
So it was dope, man. And so, you know, when it arrives, people will be, I think, pretty happy with it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun to do that. And then even then for Black Friday, again, last minute idea, threw a $5,000 mystery box out there that would guarantee someone the entire new collection that I'm putting out, the Pink Mocha 2.0 collection. And somebody copped
fire.
it.
Wow.
Somebody copped the $5,000 box and trusted us.
Fire.
Wow.
Yeah. That collection is going to go crazy.
That collection is going to go insane.
There's not a day I don't get hit up, DM'd.
Yo, when you dropping that shit.
Yeah, every day.
Braves hat.
And the Braves hat resold for $250 on eBay.
Jeez.
So retail $60 comes with the pin.
Wow.
Probably do like raffle style. It's
Nice.
It's crazy to see where our kind of lineage is going, and it's really exciting because I know what we got coming up, and it's only gonna make people go crazy. So it's gonna be fun.
No robberies over the weekend.
Thank God, no. But it is something that keeps me up at night. Not gonna even lie to you guys. You guys know 2018, I got broken into 3 times, and that was just on some like dumb shit of people just like kind of being desperate around those times, sledgehammered through the window. Like I think about it all the time, and then even more now, like everybody's pretty much seeing it. I don't know if social media is just more active, but like obviously robberies happen every hour, like in LA. But it's like really, I think what it is it's now encroaching the high end communities.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's like, now it matters.
Yeah.
Now
like, all of a sudden,
all the broke folks, all the
yeah.
broke folks been getting robbed for every day.
Yeah.
But now that some rich people are getting robbed,
Louis Vuitton stores are being hit up.
which by no means am I saying that's the like
That's
acceptable,
acceptable,
acceptable in any level. But yeah, no, I think now more than ever. I mean, shit, we have a store inside of the Topanga Westfield Mall, Canoga Park, or Woodland Hills, if you want to be political.
Come on.
Yeah, my bad.
Keep it nice. Keep it nice.
Our leading up equipment.
Yeah, thank you.
Our leading up equipment. So, for Woodland Hills, and 2 cars pull up to Nordstrom, steam through the side door, grab a couple purses, $6,000 worth, and jump back in the car.
That was Nordstrom's or Saks?
No, Nordstrom's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that happened all within the week of watching a mom just yesterday or this weekend, a mom who was just walking her baby in Hancock Park. Hancock Park was
2 dudes
adjacent to Beverly Hills.
Literally just saw that video this morning.
2 dudes were just waiting on that block, and they spotted her. She opens her gate. The gate takes a second to close. And then they just walk up casually to look like they're just walking, and then they just ran up on her, took her
purse,
baby bag,
Oh my God,
and her watch and whatever. A dude closing up his store on Sunset, driving a big body Bentley, pull up on him, take his AP. Like, it's crazy right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's sad. What city was it that they ransacked the LV store, the Louis Vuitton?
San
That was
Francisco.
San Francisco.
San Francisco and Chicago.
And Chicago.
And
Jesus,
Chicago.
man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
God bless the security guard at the Louis Vuitton Chicago. That dude, he was like he was trying to save him, like 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags. And most of these guys, like, I mean, I'm never gonna say this, and don't take my fucking word for it, but like a lot of these guys aren't looking for confrontation or for any conflict.
Security guards.
I'm gonna say the robbers.
Oh,
I'm gonna say
robbers.
80% of them don't want that, and because you can't get prosecuted for or put in jail for too long for stealing.
And it doesn't have to. The threshold, isn't it a certain amount of dollars? Like if it's less than 2,000. 2,000.
Yeah, but I had kids that I caught here at the store. We talked about it, and they were over that threshold. They're back on the street.
Yeah.
Like,
especially if they're minors.
They cut you. Have you seen like the ones that we recently talked about on the podcast? Have you seen them?
Bro, I just saw one the other day at the mall.
At the mall.
And I pressed him.
He wasn't in your store, or he was?
He was in my store.
And he was trying to rob again?
He was just looking around.
He was scoping the place.
Scoping it.
Oh
and he was
God.
moving some shit around. And so I communicated it to the staff.
Jeez.
And instead of making a scene about it, my staff member went right up to his face and said, "Hey, how can I help you? All the sales are over here. This is over here. That's over there. Let us know what we can do. We will be right here for you to help you."
It's hard to steal shit in a mall, though, man. Like, you got to make it out the store and you're out the mall. Like,
no, and we have a door person. Like,
see, yeah.
You know, so like the mall's a little different, but like dudes are brave, bro. Like they got balls to come right back. I'm like, all right, fam. Like, I know who you are.
Like, we not gonna recognize you, nigga. We got your shit on tape.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What's sad, super sad is like, so like, yeah, like if you don't, as long as you don't do nothing stupid, like kill someone or hurt someone or whatever, assault someone, like you're gonna be able to do whatever you want to do again in a week or two.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're gonna get a slap on the wrist. What's sad is, I don't know if you saw this morning, but the Black Godfather.
Yeah.
You guys familiar with him?
Yeah.
And his story?
Yeah.
His wife got killed this morning.
What?
Or yesterday. Shot. She's an older, elderly woman in a home invasion.
I did not see this.
Oh man.
Yeah, it broke this morning.
Rest in
Shit.
peace. Holy crap.
Damn.
I was wondering why he was trending. I didn't look into it, but
Bro,
Damn.
just saw
LA
his
is
name.
just, people are just doing the craziest shit.
yeah.
My wife was watching that video that you were talking about earlier, about the woman, the mom that I got ran up on, and she was like, "Babe, what do you do at that point?" And I'm just like, I said, "It's sad to say, man." He's like, "You just got to carry the strap with you, man." And then I mean, I know nobody wants to do that because it's almost like you're inviting danger.
Or pepper spray and just have
Pepper
always,
spray,
always
yeah,
have it
I
in your
mean,
hands
Yeah, I mean,
as you walk in.
The thing is, we live in a state that if we shoot them, we're more we're gonna get prosecuted before anything happens to them.
yeah.
There's no like the self-defense laws are fucked in the state of California.
Oh yeah,
And it's the
1000%.
only time I will like even sound like the other side, right?
Yeah.
If you will, because that's the part that's like difficult about this conversation. But like, it's just like, it's bad out here right now. And I think the reality is like, you got to give whatever they need because it's not worth your life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just kind of. She was just like, "What do you do?" I said,
So
"Just
confident.
give them what the fuck they want." You know
Yeah.
what I mean? As long as you and the child walks away
Yeah.
unharmed,
Yeah.
like at the end of the
Keep
day,
your
everything
baby
else,
and
is
everything else
replaceable.
is replaceable.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not trying to get run up on or anything like that. I just show the strap. You ain't got to pull the trigger. Just show it. Most people, 9 times out of 10, they'll just run away. Like, oh shit, like we don't know what this person is capable. They got a strap. Run away. And then to your point, pepper spray. You know what I'm saying? But pepper spray is always difficult, especially if you got a child or whatever. You could fire it and then you end up just as bad as the perp.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that Asian cat in San Francisco that killed the dude, he got ran up on 3 guys. It's on a security cam. He literally parked his car. 3 dudes ran up on him as soon as he was opening his door, and then he shot back, and they all ran. But one of them, he just gunned him down.
Yeah.
Damn. And then he probably doing time.
And he's probably gonna end up
Doing
doing time.
Yeah. Because he's self-defense. But yeah, it's crazy out here, man. It's just, I tell everybody, be safe. You know what I mean? Like it's like to Mike's point, I think everyone's being desperate right now. Everyone's running out of unemployment.
Yep.
Everyone's getting,
It's the
hit with
holidays.
it's the holidays. Everyone's getting hit with the PPP fraud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people are desperate and no one wants to go get a fucking job and earn their living. They want to go rob people that are, working for their shit. So be careful out here, man. I'm not saying go do no dumb shit. Just be careful.
No,
Keep
man.
your head on the swivel.
Don't wear no jewelry.
Yeah.
Like don't invite nobody.
Yeah. It's just like, yo, you can't just, I don't want to look like a bum, but you gotta look like a bum.
You know what
Bum it
else? You know what I was thinking of doing?
I made it cool.
Hopefully no robbers are listening to this. But what I was doing is, because it's like they steal your car, they take your phone in your car, and then they just hit the home navigation, and then they go open up the garage and they rob your home. Like that's a thing.
That's a lot though, because think about, especially if you have anything sitting above a 2012, 2013 vehicle, your car is traceable. You know what I'm saying? So,
But I'm saying if they take your phone and you're not within reach of another phone, of a liquor store or somewhere where you say, yo, I got robbed, I need your phone.
yeah.
If they catch you slipping out, just out and about with nothing around, you got to obviously you got to run to go, to use your, to make a call the cops, call the house.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is, I was thinking of changing my home address to like the local police station.
Oh my god.
So when they hit home, they go right to the cops.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then they'll pull up, and I mean, and obviously, like some cars are, like you said, they're traceable, so you can
drive by.
like, what the fuck? Oh man, you got us.
Like, I know where you going, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's actually smart,
Yeah, I mean, I know how to punch in my address. Shit, I can do that. Take a second to do it.
Yeah, just make it Joseph's.
Huh?
Just change it to Joseph's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some keywords.
Yeah, not to make things any darker. Rest in peace, Virgil. Shit,
Yeah,
man. Mickey, being a store owner, a creator, heavy in the fashion, hanging around guys that are heavy in the fashion that know Virgil. Like, shit, man. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's a huge loss for the community. I think a lot of people were shocked by it.
I was, for sure.
Absolutely.
And he took like this hiatus for like a year.
Yep.
It feels like, and it's crazy how it doesn't even feel like that, because I was just when you're being served all the clips and different things going on. Man, 2018 is when he started with Louis. It felt like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he had his first runway show and hugged Kanye. Like that was 3 years ago already.
Yeah.
And he's done, I mean, look, he created a business for me and a lot of other entrepreneurs in the way that he's been able to elevate and create things that are just different, right? Like his beyond like the products that he's put forth, like he also just gave us all that, like, oh yeah, we could do that, like, because his rule of thumb, of changing something only 3% to make it, different enough. It's like it gave you this hope that you don't have to like do everything from scratch. Like you got to just give your interpretation. And I think that goes a long way with so many different elements. And to be a man of color, to work with one of the biggest fashion houses in the universe, like it's just one of those things that it's just, it's an inspiring guy. But what I was gonna say is like that hiatus was kind of like the first sign of him going through some stuff, and I think dealing with like chemo, right? He like he didn't have hair as it was, but like I think he lost his eyebrows for a bit, and so like he was going through it privately. And it's crazy because I mentioned to you guys I ran into him literally like September on his birthday, on his last birthday. I believe it was like September 30th or something like that, because me and Fawn were in Rice Village in Houston, Texas, and we were walking, and Rice Village is like it's just like a nice little, like, it's like a Santa Barbara,
okay,
minus the beaches, but like nice little neighborhood, whatever. And we're walking, and I see this guy looks like Virgil Abloh. I'm like,
no way.
Rice Village.
Yeah.
Like, that don't make no fucking sense, right? To me. And I tell Fawn, I was like, did you see who the fuck that was? Because that's like, I mean, I don't know how to, I guess that's like Kobe.
Yeah. Oh,
That's Kobe in our space, right? And I'm looking, I'm like, I don't think that's him, but the white wife, like, I'm like, they're at Tender Greens, like right in the middle of the day. He's like, no, there's no way that's him. It's a lookalike. He's just a lookalike. I said, no, fam, that's a family and friends Chrome Hearts piece that he's got on.
Oh, let's say you check his shoes?
Nah, I checked his outfit. I was like, no, that's a Chrome Hearts friends and family piece. He's got the MoMA Air Force Off-White ones joints that are fucking $15,000 now. Like, no, that's
him.
I think that's Virgil. Pretty sure that's Virgil.
Or he spent a lot of money to look like Virgil.
Right. Right.
Which is extremely possible.
So we give it another look, pretend to go to Starbucks and to give another lap to see if we can make sure. And then surely enough, Fawn goes, oh my fucking God, it's him. And
Shout out to Fawn.
And so we're just there, and then we end up like, oh yeah, we'll just set up a meeting right here across the way from him with my iPad, and we'll have a conversation and whatever.
Man, I can't front. I would have done the same thing.
It's so tough, bro.
Because like being in LA, not to cut you off, but being in LA, we see this shit. We see the celebs, and we don't think twice. Oh, okay. You say it. You don't even say it out loud. You just say in your head, oh, there's so and so, and then you keep it moving. But let's go on.
No, yeah, 100%. And I, for whatever reason, it just felt different that time around, right? And again, it's your Kobe. So like, and so yeah, and then finally, Fawn actually was the one that initiated the bravery to like go talk to him, and it was funny because we text the day when he passed, and he goes, man, now it makes sense, like, because I don't know exactly what Fawn said in the beginning, but I think it was along the lines of like, I think he wanted to just give him dap or like love or show him his flowers, like with, I don't know, the handshake or dap. And he was very on like, like, oh, I'm not touching, right now, like whatever. And then he was explaining to me that one of the biggest, like, I think like hospitals that deal with cancer is actually right there. And so we were probably unaware of what he was dealing with and doing whatever, but he was still super kind and finally had an opportunity to just, kind of just tell him his give him his flowers for whatever, he's contributed for us. And it was crazy. And so, but again, like everybody else who's sharing a conversation with him, who's doing whatever, like he is just such a nice dude.
Yeah.
Like genuine, nice dude, clearly created platforms for many people, and so yeah, it's tough.
It's kind of a nasty question, but I gotta know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure other people are curious. Has anything and everything Off-White gone up in price?
Everything went up crazy. It's kind of
do you have to set the prices higher too to compete?
No,
or are you just like, nah, fuck that, we're gonna keep it?
So there's like it's tricky
because you think those guys are gonna buy it at a lower price and then flip it for a higher if you keep it low, right? Which is nasty.
So that's nasty and it's tricky. So like being in our business, you have to make decisions kind of on the go. And luckily, my staff is pretty on to things. And what we decided was when the news broke that we would pull everything off the shelves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we want to wait and see what happens. Yeah. Not for the benefit of profit, but for the benefit of someone who actually wants to come in and buy something that's actually their purpose. Then we would like to service those people versus the people who will come in and buy everything and then just to flip it, right? Yeah. I mean, I'll give you a great example.
They did the same thing with Kobe.
Yep, I was thinking that
too.
Yeah.
When Kobe passed, we were here, right? And I think I told you guys, but we sold every last Kobe item in our system. Mm-hmm. Not that we wanted to sell it, but people were just buying it up.
The demand went crazy.
Buying it up. Demand was crazy. People were just assuming that the value would skyrocket, which it did. But we didn't own every Kobe item, right, that we sold. And so I had people who are sellers calling us, yo, I want my Kobe shit back.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fam, like, and then I think I might have given this scenario a long time ago, but like this guy who I know is a size 9 and he's got a size 13 Kobe. And he's like, oh, I don't own a Kobe. I wanted to keep that for myself and this and that. Do. I'm like, yeah, bro, like I'm sure you do, but like I know what you're doing. I'm like, how fucking dare you? I'm like, if you want to pull that one shoe, you're gonna come pull the rest of your products, and I never want to see your face again. Mm-hmm. It's up to you. And he whatever we like. I stand for what I stand for, and so in many ways, fortunately now we own a lot of our products in whole in general. So pretty much all the Off-White stuff we pulled was like our stuff, but it's not with the intent to come back out with high pricing because this stuff's already high priced. But like it's just more to kind of like let things settle and then we can figure out what's the right way to go about it.
Just don't feel right trying to make a profit off of it. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I was about to say how long, and maybe you just don't know, but how long do you hold it until you put it back on the market?
It's tough. In my opinion, like there was two ways to go about it. You pull it, you wait, and you see what happens, or you just leave it out there for the price that it was before he passed.
Yeah.
But control how people consume.
Yeah.
Right? For what reason?
Like everyone, like if you want to purchase Off-White, you get one item and that's it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tricky. Like, I mean, we had that wet grass rug. Mm-hmm. I had one at the crib. I bought mine, just for perspective, I bought mine from here for $600 about a year ago. Like August 2 years ago or a year ago, sorry. And I'm pretty sure the market was at $850 pre-death. Mm-hmm. There was sales anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500.
Wow.
Jeez.
Like hundreds of sales.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So like, I mean, I told my friend, he sold me a friends and family Off-White rug. I think I bought it off of him for like $1,200 or like $1,100, something like that. It's a keep off rug, but it's not the one that everybody has. It's like a smaller size, which is weird that the smaller one goes more than the bigger one, but there's only so many. And I saw that one when I bought it from him at $1,100. It was $1,800 to $2,200, and now it's $5,600.
What?
Whoa. Good Lord.
God damn, bro.
And like the thing is, it's one thing to list something; it's another for that shit to sell. Multiple sales.
Yeah.
Damn.
So like, when we had one, it was like my staff's like, oh, so what's up with that wet grass rug? Oh, what's up with the da?
Yeah.
I'm just like, look, I had already been in agreement prior to all this, like to sell it to somebody. So, but it's like,
so you have now. I understand. You said you own like wholesale. You own the a lot of the Off-White and whole. But what if it's someone flipping and you say I'm gonna take it off, and they say, nah, fuck that, sell that for the new price? Like, what happens when the owner of it wants you to push it, keep it out?
I think that's like I think it depends. Like for us, we wouldn't want to put it out.
Yeah.
So I would just say, come get it.
Come take it. Yeah.
Okay.
Come take it somewhere else.
Gotcha.
Like that's not what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna be involved with that. Like Iris, sure, like that's your product. Like do whatever you want to do with your product.
Mm-hmm.
But like for us, I think it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's a little nasty, so we'd rather not be involved.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Right on. Rell, got any thoughts on that?
Nah, man. I mean, Mickey said it all, man. It's just sad. It was a surprise to me. Like I texted y'all, I was like, "Yo, Virgil passed," because I thought it was
literally.
I thought it was fake when I first saw it.
Yeah,
because I saw it and I think it was on his page.
It's on his personal.
It's on his personal IG page, and I was reading it, and I was like, "There's no fucking way that this is real, right?" Yeah. And I was just like, "All right, let me do a little bit more research before I like be like, yo, is this happening?" And I didn't see anything talking about it. I didn't see any. Usually, when you see something, it's usually trending or anything. I didn't see anything about it, and I was just like, "Bro, he wouldn't post this on his own personal IG if this wasn't, or someone wouldn't post this on his personal IG if this wasn't real."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Yo," I texted y'all. I was like, "Yo, is this shit real?" Like, "Yo," and they'd be like, "Yeah, we just saw this shit." And I was like, "Damn, bro!" Like, it was crazy. I had no idea he had cancer. He was dealing with it. When Mike was saying he went on a hiatus, I just assume all creatives do that to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just you're dealing with a lot. You just need to take a step back. And I kind of was like, and then, we were dealing with 2020. So I was just kind of like, all right, I figured everybody took a step back in 2020 because no one was really making any profit during that year. So yeah, it's sad to see someone so creative and that has such an impact on the community and whatnot pass away at such a young age. What was he like?
41.
40, yeah.
41.
It's crazy.
Yeah, D Murthy from Group Chat podcast, Group Chat News, he said it really well, man. Like, I mean, he's the same age with 2 children, a wife, and in his own regard, very successful. And I think that's one of those things where it's just like, man, like, this is gonna sound maybe funny, but like, you see Magic break, beat HIV and things we don't know, and you might assume like, oh, it's because he got money.
Yeah.
But then there's things that money can't beat. Like, and I think that's when it humbles you, and it makes you realize like, ain't shit promised. Like, it don't matter who you are.
Yep.
Like, if there's somebody that an industry's trying to keep alive, it's Virgil.
Yeah.
Like when health, obviously you can control other things.
Yeah. I'll say I'm not gonna front like I was like I followed him super close and I kept up with the Off-White stuff. I was definitely a fan from a distant. Like, it was just, oh, okay, there's a new drop. There's quotes around words now, and okay, like I kind of saw. I saw Mickey would have the Off-White sweaters. I would go to Japan and see the Off-White shoes. And so with all that being said, like I just wasn't that involved in his every move like a lot of super fans are. So when I heard the news, I said, this is one of those moments, much like Kobe's passing. And I knew everything about Kobe, but same results, much like Kobe's passing. I had to go watch some videos. I had to like really, because I knew how powerful he was of a creator and just everything that he did and how much of a genius he was. Like, I got to go watch some shit. So I did see, first thing I watched was the Harvard, what was that called? Just the Harvard talk. He went to Harvard 2016 or 15, and just listening to him and just how he broke everything down. And it's so simple, but it's like, it's so simple, but only a genius could come up with it.
Right.
Like that's the step a lot of us have a hard time getting to, is like, we're not, I'm not gonna say it like this, but we have to get to the genius to simplify everything as opposed to just simplify, which sounds crazy, but that's when you see Kanye's new threads or Virgil or how Kobe's take on how we guard certain people. Like it just seems simplified, but you never would have thought that or whatever if you didn't have that genius bone in you or whatever they call it. So, Mike mentioned the 3%. Like, he said Nike wanted to give him the opportunity to create his own shoe. He's like, nah, I like this one. I just want to slightly change it because I'm such a big fan and I just want to give my spin on it. And I remember when those quotes came out and everything had quotes on it, and especially the Jordans, which is the most beloved shoe in the history of shoes, the Jordan 1s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people were knocking it because like he didn't do anything. It's just quotes and words and a flap in this. And I remember like every time Virgil made a move, Virgil signed with Louis, it was like, oh, well, what's he gonna do? Like, there was just a lot of knock on it. But if we really looked at what he did, it's like, holy shit! Like, no one would have thought of that. No one would have taken it there. I remember in that Harvard talk, he said he likes using quotes because now he doesn't have to use Photoshop. And it's like two expressions within one. So I really enjoyed. Then at the end of that conversation, man, it really tied everything up and really made me smile, filled me up with joy was when the kid had said, I have two questions. One, can you sign my shoes? And the second, he couldn't even get to the second. And Virgil's like, all right, well, you got to throw the shoe at me. And if you don't reach me, I'm not going to sign it. He's having fun with the kid. So the kid throws his shoe. And then everyone starts throwing their shoes at him. Everyone's throwing one of their shoes at him. And then they pan to a distant camera and you just see shoes flying from the balcony. And he's like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to sign them. And they just stopped. They just stopped everything because it was the end of it. It was a great way to stop. So it was just so dope to see that. But yeah, man, from a fashion standpoint, I had an interesting weekend because that happened. I saw the House of Gucci movie. And I was watching the Von Dutch.
Oh, yeah. That shit.
So it's like every pocket of business in fashion that, that's tied in the one from the bad side, the corny side, to the innovative side, the now side, to, Tom Ford becoming the lead designer of Gucci. So, yeah, I'm just like trying to soak it all up because, the universe is always telling you something. And not that I'm gonna go out and design clothes, but from a creative standpoint, like I saw the silver lining, I saw the inspiration in Virgil passing away, because I didn't go out, I didn't wake up and want to create clothes, but I wanted to wake up and create music and just be more creative throughout the day and really appreciate the moments in the day. So it's like the silver lining is there, and hopefully all of you, whether you are a fan of Virgil or not, like can appreciate your life more and appreciate what you do more. Because if you really love it, you would think, damn, I couldn't see myself doing anything else. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. If I were to pass, like I'd want to pass doing this and be known for this. So hopefully it inspired all you guys.
I hope it took the hate out of some people's hearts too. Because the one thing, like you kind of touched on, was like he would catch a lot of heat for his creativity. Yeah. And or lack thereof, depending on your opinion. And I think a lot of people would die on a cliff that they're on based on what they think. But the reality is, like, a lot of those guys changed their conversation once he's gone.
Yeah.
And it's like, y'all, like, you gotta appreciate what's in front of you, because he may not do things the way you may do things, but he's actually doing things.
Yeah,
that's the difference. And you can like, these new Louis Vuitton Air Force Ones that are basically just updated versions of the knockoffs that were sold on Canal Street in New York way back when. Well, shit, guess who made that look authentic?
Yeah.
Like there's value in that.
Them shit's gonna go crazy when they release.
Of course. Like, and people don't understand that. Like, they don't understand what it took to have kind of like this, because you can look at it two different ways. Is it appropriation, or is it recognition, or is it adoption? Like, what is it? And I think when you look at how Virgil approached everything, it was always with a genuine intent to put the focus on, yo, we did this shit.
Yeah.
Like, we created this shit. Now look at us.
Yeah, and touching on that, again, outside looking in, fan outside looking in, and listening to everyone's conversations. Months ago, group chat had someone on saying, 2010 to 2020 was, or let me just focus, 2020 to 2030 will be the decade of inclusion, where we're all being involved. We're all like, everyone's given an opportunity and chance. You see, do you keep up with Ivory Park's Instagram?
Is that you, Beyonce's?
Beyonce's, Adidas.
Yeah.
Fire.
No, they do amazing.
That shit is dope.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the different color faces and the shapes, and it's like, okay, inclusion, boom. Rihanna, I love Rihanna's runway shows with Fendi. Sam and I watch them every time. I think their third one just came out a few months ago. We saw that inclusion. Virgil was all about inclusion and he said in that Harvard thing, I asked on Instagram, does anyone know how to run Photoshop or whatever he said, and he just picked whoever responded. Okay, if you say so, let's roll. Like, it wasn't like a big thing. You have to be qualified. It was just like, all right, fuck it. Let's bring it together. So moving forward, like that guy said on group chat, like next decade, and Virgil set the tone. It's going to be inclusion. Everyone being involved, everyone having their hands in on it. And the ones that don't will suffer, like Victoria's Secret, suffering a lot of bad press on them because they didn't use anybody of color. They didn't use, not anybody, but Rare did they. They never had big girls. They didn't have any trans. And they even went on record and doubled down. It's like, yeah, we're not about that. So now their stocks are suffering. Their brand and line is suffering. And now I was walking in the mall. I saw Victoria's Secret store and in the model, I want to say she was a little thicker than usual or, looked a little bit less of an angel, quote unquote. So it's like, it's just crazy. It's crazy to see all that, but yeah, inclusion, like Virgil said, is definitely the future.
It's because Web 2 and has made everyone kind of a little closer to what used to be the exclusion portion, right? Like you say, like stocks, right?
Yeah.
Like imagine if we all just bought stocks when we were making our $200, $300 gigs back in 2012.
Yeah.
If we bought anything in that time and what it would be worth today.
Wasn't Tesla stocks like $5 at that time?
Huh?
Weren't Tesla stocks $5 at that time? Or was it before that?
2012. No, they went public 2010, I think.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But like, what do we have invested into it?
Look, man, we were living with our parents. We weren't paying shit. We could have put all our money in the stocks.
Listen.
We were all on Serato, so we didn't have to buy records.
Listen, if we bought a stock instead of a record here and there, like we would be
having
caking
this
up.
conversation right now.
Yeah, we're in this fucking podcast. but the reality is, like, we weren't included.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
Like, could our parents or family members have put us in a position to buy the stocks? Maybe, maybe not.
But they weren't even aware of it at the time, though.
No, and it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
You got to call some dude to do this, to do that, Like, it took work. Now, you can do that shit right now.
Phone, yep.
You know what I mean? And it's done. And so I think, Web 2, which is platforms, apps, things on your phone, right? And now you got this Web 3. Web 3 is making their own rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the future. So, like,
decentralized
people are going to start including everybody because they got no fucking choice.
Yep.
Because they're going to get left behind.
Yep.
And so that might be a whole other
conversation.
Yeah, but we'll leave it there.
It all connects. I don't know what. Before we get out of here, you want to talk about what Bert Peterson said?
Yeah, man. Let's
because I tried looking it up. I couldn't find it.
Oh man,
look it up for us.
I got y'all.
But yeah, set us up though.
Yeah. So Bert Peterson. Everyone is
it was
familiar.
On Instagram.
Everyone is familiar with how you Sickick.
Sickick. Yeah.
Sickick. right?
Who is getting booked, by the way?
Yeah, who is? But listen,
he's getting
again,
booked.
you know, we've
Hate him all you want.
We've talked about him on this show, and we'd be like, yo, why is this guy faking the funk? And believe it or not, Timbaland has been posting his shit, being like, yo, this is dope, this is amazing, and he's been getting heat, at least from the DJ.
Is he Rock Nation?
Who?
Sickick?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that much. But he's like I said, so Timbaland has been, you know, promote or, you know, showing him love on his page, like posting his videos and whatever.
No.
He's been getting heat from the DJ community being like, yo, and other producers being like, yo, how can you post this shit? Like, this shit is not, you know what I mean? He's not doing none of this live. He's not hitting any of the triggers. All this shit is pre-recorded, et cetera, et cetera. Now, to my knowledge, I don't think Timbaland has, you know, acknowledged any of these people that are coming at him. But anyways, Bird Peterson goes on his page and he's like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna just mock this fool, right?
He's
like,
got a few videos.
He's got a few videos of him, and he posted some recent ones, like, you know, as far as 2 days ago, and he's literally making like fart sounds and shit.
Oh, while he's hitting
my God.
Okay, too close.
Right. So he's doing shit like this, right?
Oh my God.
So he's killing them, right? And he's been getting, everyone's been like, bro.
Oh my God.
Right?
Oh, okay.
Bro. So, you know, so he's been killing him. Everybody was like, yo, thank you. You're the GOAT for this, or blah, blah, blah. Just going on. And he's been like, yo, and I'm like, yo, shout out to Bird Peterson, man, because it's all funny games. Like, again, to Joe's point, this dude Sickick or Sick Kid or however you pronounce his name, he's still getting booked. He's got 2 million followers on fucking Instagram.
Yeah, I was trying to see who represents him because it really comes down to the agent.
So again, we don't have to agree with the way he's doing shit, but he's out there, he's getting his bag and he's doing what he's doing. So, you know, no shade to him, but you know what I mean? Like, we all know that, you know what I mean? Like, again, we don't, because I think the issue is that because we are aware that the shit that he's doing or the shit that he's posted, the videos that he's posting on his IG are not live and they're pre-recorded. We don't know that he actually pre-recorded the set. You know what I mean? For all we know, he can have a ghost producer or whatever. You know what I mean? And he's just the quote unquote face of it. So I think that's the main issue that a lot of people, DJs, producers, etc., are having with the whole thing. Like, yo, bro, you're faking the funk. You're not even. You know what I mean? You're using this S9. You could just use a fucking beat pad and do what you're doing. And you know what I mean? Like, why are you using it? DJ mixer. So Bird, I came across the videos and I was like, yo, this shit is fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
4 Color Zach did it first.
You are correct.
In April.
You are correct. Well, did you check when Bird Peterson posted his first one?
There's 3. There's
Yeah.
3. I was just on his, let me dig a little deeper.
I know his latest ones were like two days. His latest one was like 2 days ago.
August 20th, there's one. And I don't see one any later than that right now. That's Mad Villain.
Oh, okay. So,
there's Mad
Which
Villain.
was this one for those that are...
That was one of his latest ones. Oh my God.
yo, this shit is fucking hilarious, bro.
Oh my God.
So I gotta just,
you gotta give him his props. Give him his flowers. You know what I mean?
Just on the timeline.
Mickey is always the one that promotes. Doesn't matter who did it first. It's about who did it better, right?
You're right.
Yep. So, you know what I mean? Again, shout out to 4 Color Zach. Shout out to Bird Peterson. As DJs in this DJ community, we appreciate y'all for this shit.
It's definitely, it's great entertainment, but I'm gonna stir the pot and I'm gonna fuck with some of these guys who are purists and just want to add drama to it. Who cares
About him?
Who cares whether he's faking it or not?
And that's my point is. He's still getting his bag.
Because if I'm this guy, I'm like, look, I don't know any of you motherfuckers. You can say what you want about me, but when I am living in my multi-million-dollar house with my family and I'm taking care of them, I'm not going to give a shit what any of you guys say about me. Have fun with it by all means. I'm probably laughing at most of it, but when it all comes down to it, the people in the crowd don't really give a shit because I have 3 plus million followers on Instagram, God knows what on TikTok. They clearly are entertained by this shit. So
I mean,
why would I change it?
Timbaland is co-signing this nigga.
Timbaland's co-signing on me, and it's all in key. It's not like it's not like it's just terrible. So like who if I'm him, like, and I'm sure this is exactly what he's saying. Who gives a shit what I do? I'm just gonna. Like, I'm making stupid money, and you're laughing at me. I'm laughing at you.
On the way to the bank, and like I said,
I'm laughing at you.
My man's getting his bag. I don't even think anyone knows what the fuck he looks like because he's always wearing the mask in the videos.
No,
right?
we know what he looks like.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we do?
No.
Oh.
Is he a white guy?
No.
Okay.
He's not white?
No.
Asian?
Nope.
Don't tell me this man is black.
Kind of Asian.
Kind of Asian?
Okay.
Oh, so like Filipino.
Kanye Asian?
Indian.
Oh, he's Indian.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Fuck,
interesting.
man.
Tandoori, not native.
Look, man.
Got you.
Indians
Hey, it doesn't matter what he is.
Indians
man.
don't have many reps in the game, so you let them have one.
Hey, fuck it.
Let them have one. Look at it like that.
They're typically big tech CEOs. So
Yeah.
nice for them to humble
Well,
down.
they're all they run all the big tech. There's Google. They now they run Twitter.
They run Twitter.
They run.
You saw how the stock like that one.
Right.
Oh no, Tim Apple runs Apple.
Hey man, like I said, man, get your bag. Like I said, to Joe's point, it's great entertainment. We take it,
Yeah.
you know.
As long as everyone doesn't, like, I'm sure Burr Peterson ultimately doesn't give a shit, and neither does
Nah,
Zach.
he doesn't.
But it's just
I think he just does it, you know, like you said, to your point, for entertainment and like
It's content.
Yeah, exactly.
For everyone.
absolutely
It's just great. So he's 2 million followers. He's getting his bag, man. Like, more power to you.
3.5 to be exact.
Is it 3.5?
Maybe 3.6.
Oh
yeah.
shit! Well, yeah, excuse the fuck out of me. Last time I checked, it was 2 million. Now he got 3.5. So
He's for those that really want to know, he's gonna be booked at Park soon.
Yes.
In San Diego?
That's why I was like, man, this. And then I saw he's doing Vegas. He's doing something really big. Like
does he do his live shows with the mask on?
I hope so. It's part
I
of the
would
gig.
think so.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of part of his brand,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Definitely got some AC in there.
Oh, good for him, man. Listen, shout out to you, man. Shout out to.
Speaking of announcing gigs, what do you got coming up?
That's a good
I'm
question.
not gonna record for another 2 weeks. I'll throw mine out there.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will be at the Grand in Boston on the 11th, and then what's it called? Church in El Paso.
Going to church?
bar.
You doing church
Going to
again?
church, yeah.
Nice.
December
Church.
18th. Oh, and then New Year's Eve, I'll be at Exchange in Salt Lake City. New spot. Every video I see, it's like they're going crazy to everything that's played. Even like EDM songs from 5 years ago, they're losing their shit to it. So definitely looking forward to that.
My usual shit, Resident. I'm doing Must Be Nice with Night Train again. I'm doing Must Be Nice with Night Train again on my 1 year anniversary.
Mm.
And he hit me up and he said, "Yo, you
Must
booked."
be nice.
He said, He said you booked on this date. And I said, I looked at my wife. And I
Love.
said, "Babe."
I'm booked with love.
I said, "Babe." She was just like, but it worked out because she's got a gig during the day, right? So I was like, well, I
Damn,
gotta
so
think
she had
about
that
it.
gig first?
She had the
booked it?
conversation with me. She was like, listen, I got booked for
okay, I
this
was about to
day.
call her
Because
out.
we were going to do a staycation somewhere and go. And I said, yo, you can still do your thing and we'll leave after your gig or whatever. And then I got hit and I was like, babe, you know, she was just like, well, fuck it. You do, since we'll both work that day and then, you know, we'll celebrate after. So I was all right, cool. So yeah, doing that. New Year's.
What date is that?
The 12th of December.
That's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday. Yep.
Okay.
And the Giants are playing the Chargers
Good to
in
know.
LA.
Good to know.
And I was like, and my boy who's a Chargers fan, Marcos, our trainer, was like, yo, we going to the game. Nah, bro, I can't do it. My
Yeah.
wife is going to kill me if I do it. Like, New Year's, I got one set at 11 at apartment 503, and then I think I'm doing another set somewhere else to close out the night, but I'll keep you guys updated on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might be double dipping
Hell yeah.
on New Year's Eve.
Get it.
You know what I always want to do on New Year's Eve is do a gig in one part of the country, you know, ring in the New Year, and then fly,
You wildin'.
take a PJ to another part of the country, and then do it all over again because, you know, the
Good
time
luck,
change.
good luck for you.
That's the Jolo shit.
Yeah.
That's what Jolo did. I think he did one in Australia, then another one in America or some shit. Mickey, what you got?
December 18th and 19th back at El Chingon.
Hey.
Nice. 19th
Right.
is a Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I might try to come out there.
Pull up on me.
Yeah, but I was trying to make the last one, but she was like, nah, we ain't going. We did all this traveling. We staying our asses here. She was like,
I feel it.
Yeah.
I was exhausted.
Yeah.
Like that one gig cost me the next day.
Are you doing daytime on the 19th?
Yeah.
All right, bet.
Oh,
At nighttime on the 18th,
those
right?
gigs aren't getting easier.
Huh?
And the 18th, do you do a nighttime?
Yeah, 18th I'm doing 11 to close.
Okay.
So I'll be cracking,
Yep.
and then 19th, and I might go early the 17th because a good friend of mine is going to be performing at Park, possibly.
Word.
We're locking it in right now.
17th? It's a Thursday?
It's a Friday.
Or Friday.
I think I'm.
So I might make a whole little weekend.
You gonna DJ?
They asked me to open. I politely am declining
Yeah.
and choosing to just enjoy the night.
Got you.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, man. Looking forward to closing out the year strong.
Yes,
Absolutely. All right, then 102 in the books. We out.
Peace.